news, views, voices of the global Indian community. India abroad.
Everyone, my name is Aruna Miller. Let me restate that. Aruna Katragada Miller, Lieutenant Governor of Maryland. And I am so thrilled to be here. And, all of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the great work that is being done by Diaspora. So, MR, thank you to you and your team for creating this great organization. Sanjeev, thank you for your leadership. Really appreciate it. And I have to tell you, I went and looked at your report, the first ever that talks about Indian Americans and their impact in the United States. And I got to tell you, I loved every bit of it because I can't. Important to have representation.
That's how other communities have created the ladder that other people go into a city council meeting and they see someone look like them. Okay, I can do that too. It's great to have senators and congressmen and someday a president, but it would be extraordinary to have not just 48, but 120 or 160 people in the houses of representatives. The first two, by the way, who went into the state representative ranks came from Ohio. Can anyone name that person?
And that's one of the successes we have. And also this gentleman is not just a CEO success, but the work he does and what he does for the community is amazing. So without further ado, I want to welcome my good friend, Raj Subramaniam, CEO of FedEx.
Thank you, MR. It's great to be here. When MR calls, I come. So it's pretty straightforward for me. Congratulations, MR, Shesh. I just saw him a minute ago, for releasing this report. I think it's a very important time and very valuable as we talk about what our community continues to do, as was demonstrated very much so as Aruna was talking here, in various walks of life. So I'm just delighted that you were able to release the report, that we were able to talk about it going forward. We have a simple philosophy in terms of giving, and it's this: if your neighbor's house is on fire and you're the one with the fire hose, you run to help. Because usually what happens is when there's something goes wrong somewhere in the world, people have money, but they have no way of actually physically doing anything. And that's when it's like, hello, here I am. And so we create a lot of impact. I mean, there's so example after example. Any disaster, we're usually the first ones there. And I'll give you one that's closer to home. And this was in April 2021 when COVID was raging in India. And I remember that one evening I got a call from this young woman in Dallas. She said, my father is dying in Hyderabad, and I have an oxygen concentrator in my hand. Can you get it to him? I'm like, what? Then within 12 hours, we developed a process by which you can take one of those things to our FedEx office, the retail outlet, and then we would carry it. We got 1,500 of those.
Is that it has been jet propelled since the pandemic by a deeply shared sense of mutual trust. We had a hard pandemic, the US and India, the great free open societies, and we learned some lessons from it. One of the most important lessons, and I saw it with my own eyes in my last years of service in the US government, is that we do trust one another. Our people trust one another. There is immense affection and admiration between the American and Indian people.
So, first off, I'd like to thank MR Sanjeev for the opportunity to collaborate on this report. This has been outstanding. It has been a true revelation in so many ways. I've been here 17 years and I probably never felt this proud of my own community. Actually, I didn't even stop to think about this much about my community. And I'd also like to thank the co-authors in the report, Shobha Viswanathan from Indiaspora and Amrita Oak from PCG. what struck me upon reflection while writing this whole thing, as well as from this evening in particular, is there are so many of these stories where we find very clear points of resonance. I mean, I also came here on an NSF scholarship, did not win a Nobel Prize, but that's okay. I also had to get a student visa to get here. There was no Virginia to throw out my application. I got it right away. And then there are points of inspiration from there on, like the sheer perseverance, the sheer heights of achievement that people have gone through, and this didn't just happen overnight. And we all recognize we're standing on the shoulders of giants, to borrow another scientist's phrase. So it's just been inspiring, and Raj, you summed it up best. The best is yet to come.
Is this